Hi everybody, Stephen here. Today we've got Scott Hamlin from Kinetic Text Animator to show us his software. Now I've actually been using this software for the last 2 months as a beta tester, and it's pretty much when we started it was pretty raw and we did have problems with it, but now I love it and it's ready for launch to go to more people. So now what I use this software for, I use it for 3 things mainly. I use it for YouTube paid advertising, where I make pattern interrupt videos, which if you look below this you'll see one. And I use Tony's Traffic Scout software to get my YouTube URLs. So that's another way to use Tony's software, is to use this with it. I use it for Facebook in-stream ads, which I think it's great because, as we all know, in-stream ads, the sound doesn't work, and if you've got a nice text animation coming up or something, it will show the text and they will get the message without their sound showing on. I use it for local marketing. There's a video below this you'll see for local marketing. It's great for that. And normal video marketing. So it's pretty much can be used for everything, and memes as you'll see in front of us here. Now what I'm finding is I'm actually getting a 10 to 15% click-through rate with these videos, and then at the end I monetize at the end. So they seem to really keep everybody's attention, and they're great because they're not that boring videos which we've made in the past. They're really good videos. So anyway, we've got Scott here, and he's going to show us how the software works. So I think we'll go over to you, Scott, and you can introduce your software to us.
Sure. Well, thanks a lot for having me. Yeah, Kinetic Text Animator was conceived by kind of with the basic idea of keeping it simple. You know, the standard old saying, "Keep it simple, stupid." And we sort of we had done a program and we thought, well, you know, the documentation took a long time to get people to understand how to use it. And we thought, well, what do people know how to do that's easy for them? And then it occurred to us, most people know how to type. Most people can type their message, and especially if it doesn't matter what language you're in. If you speak Hebrew or Arabic or something like that, or Russian, you know, as long as we support that font, well, then you can make an animation. So we started on that premise. We started on the idea that, you know, anyone can make an animation if they can just type in the text, and we take care of the rest. So we targeted.
So if you've got a different keyboard from a different country, it works quite well there. It just uses what the keyboard's got on it. It doesn't have to be English then.
That's right. As long as the font supports the, if you're Russian, you need to have a font that has Russian characters. But aside from that, you know, you're good to go.
Okay.
You know, we have some particularly the people I can think of the most are German. They obviously speak, and they like to do their videos in German. And you know, as soon as they realized that all they needed to do is get a font that had German characters in it, then they were off to the races. So we, you know, I don't know if you were looking at my screen or not here, but I've just got this little sample here that's just a funny little, in this case it's a Facebook meme for someone's birthday, right, you know. And I just got a picture of Grumpy Cat, you know, off of Google, and, you know, so it's a quick little, you know, something like this. We all want to make videos for, I mean, sales videos and ads and all that kind of stuff, but videos kind of go everywhere. You know, we make, you know, fun things, Facebook memes, we make ads, we make YouTube, you know, ads and all that kind of, you know, sales videos. We wanted it to be for everything, you know. And so if you have imagery or video, or soon one of the next features that's probably here in a day or two is the ability to import an SVG or a PNG and animate that. So you can do lower thirds and things like that. Animate your logo in if you want to have your logo appear on the stage and things like that. But the idea was really to just make it simple. You know, just we wanted it to be, these animations are all inspired by the kinds of animations that are in programs like After Effects and Final Cut Pro that are so unattainable to everyday users, because you know, first of all, because of the expense. After Effects is $50 a month, and then you have to then the plugins, like there's a plugin that we have in here called Incidental Pivot. This animation creates a fun, I'll just go ahead and start a new, I'm going to go ahead and just refresh while we're here, and I'll just do a quick sample here. And this particular animation is based off of an animation that costs $90 as a plugin for After Effects. And we don't want people to have to pay $90, you know, because I was having people look at my videos and ask me, how did I do that? And I would say, well, I used this After Effects and this plugin. Well, they say, oh, I can't afford that, and I don't want to learn that, you know. So we decided that we wanted to make something that's attainable to, you know, housewives and you know, people who are just getting, you know, trying to work in the evening and stuff like that, just everybody. So right now I'm looking at this quotes feature. So, you know, we have a built-in quotes feature. I'm just going to search for something funny. You know, I could search for business, I could search for inspirational, whatever. But I just for the fun of it, I stuck with something funny. This quote usually makes me laugh here. So I'm going to go ahead and we have the ability to, we wanted to make things quick and easy. Like this particular animation lets you choose a bunch of different colors. So I'm going to choose all of these at once instead of having to select 4 things all at the same time. I'm going to go ahead, and I already know that that color doesn't look very good on white, so I went ahead and changed it. So that real quick, I was able to select 4 colors. And I'm going to go up here and I'm going to select a couple different fonts, just also to make it interesting. So this is one of the more elaborate animations, but I'm just going to go ahead and show. So I happen to know some of these fonts. This particular one has a bug that we just fixed, but so I'm going to avoid some fonts because I figured that out. So here we go. So I just pasted that quote in there, and I'm going to go ahead and just add some line breaks just to make it a little more interesting. And so what it's doing is it's going to animate according to these line breaks where it kind of changes the animation.
Yeah, I break the paragraphs up like you're doing there, and I like it how you can either use 5 different slides, or you can put it all into one slide and it follows it on, as the people will see in a second. And it's great because you can edit your text for the screen, and you can change the size of it, and it's quite, as you can see here, it's so easy to use. It actually makes it fun to make videos.
Right, and so this one is, you know, very creative. It's this particular animation, like I said, you know, it's a $90 animation for After Effects, and we thought, you know, when I bought that, I was like, well, for me, that's worth it. I can monetize that, but that is not worth it for someone who owns a flower shop and wants to make some videos for their, you know, they're not going to spend that. You know, so I couldn't recommend that when people called me and asked me. And what I just did there while I was doing it is I wanted the animation to go a little faster. So I just went ahead and dragged it to the left, which keeps the entire animation, but it just makes it, you know, go over 20 seconds instead of over, you know, 30, which is what it defaulted. So this allows you to kind of change it up. We can also zoom out on the timeline to make it easier. And, you know, I can add more, so I can, let's go ahead, let's find a texture to make this more attractive. So we have some textures here. We have some bonuses where we offer a bunch of textures and backgrounds and all kinds of stuff that you can put it on. And if I want to, I can crop this and zoom it. I'm going to go ahead and leave it like it is. And we'll put this at the beginning, and then I can just make my animation over that texture. Of course, if it was video, it would be animating over the video. And we just can, you know, make some stuff very quickly. And the thing about it is that we all have our iPhones or our Android phones or whatever. We can take pictures, and, you know, so we can make videos over anything. You know, we can take pictures. We can go to sites like Pixabay and find you know, free images and or whatever we want. So this makes it easy to do that, to make animations, you know, just quickly and easily. And again, it makes it fun instead of it being tedious because I've been using After Effects for almost 20 years, and the learning curve still ticks me off. So because it's just so frustrating that after all that time, I still have to learn things, you know. So we wanted to make something where that was not the case. You know, you could spend a half an hour and you are good to go, you know, with really great animations, fun and easy. And instead of it being a constant source of frustration, it's fun, it's cool, you get something done and you move on.
So like what I love to do with this is I love to bring videos in the background. Like I did a video recently it was on cats. I've told a few people the cats spraying on things, and people hate cats spraying on their furniture, and it's a great clickbank product. It sells really well. So I actually went and found in YouTube a whole heap of clips of cats spraying on people and all sorts of stuff, and then put that in behind the text. And the first one was, "Does your cat do this?" And as the cat pisses on the wall, and it converts really well because it shows the point of what's happening. And I did another one with a product launch. It had the space shuttle taking off as the launch took off. So your imagination, you can do whatever you want in this. It's just amazing what you can do with this. And now we've got all these extra things down the left-hand side, all different, right? Like I love the glitch pitch and the sprinkled solid and that sort of stuff. And the pepper blast, I use those ones an awful lot. So you can pretty much use lots of different text on this, whatever you want. There's so many here. It's unbelievable.
And one thing that we're not showing here, and I'll go ahead and do that, is let's put in another image just so that we can show here. I'll do leading here some images where you can specify where you want the animation to appear. So we'll just do this next one here, and we'll have it kind of appear in this region so that it looks kind of like this person is looking at the animation.
Like I had a cat talking as it's peed on the wall. It was talking. Just actually looks like it was talking to the owner because I had it really close to their mouth, and it looked really good. So as the cat was peeing, it's talking, going, "Aha, I'm peeing," and it made the video look really good. You know what I mean? Like you get this girl here to talk. So
I got to click on it at something to where it's going to animate, but there we go. So. And if I don't like that, you know, if it's going too slow or something, I can go ahead and I don't like the shadow, so I took the shadow off and I just reanimated it. We've got keyboard shortcuts for turning things off like the grid. You know, it's just, we really just wanted to make it fun and easy. It looks like what did I do? I left it, let's do it according to words just for the, change it up, there we go. And you know, if I don't like the size, I can just, you know, change things really quick. We also have things like tilt. We have little modifiers to change things up. So if I want this word to be 3 times bigger, I can do that. So elephant will come in and it's going to be bigger. And you know, just things like that.
I just learned something there. I like that.
Yeah, we built in a lot of little things. We wanted to have some Easter eggs in here, so that, you know, you could really take it to another level. So you know, you can learn how to use it quickly and easily, but once you learn it, there's more kind of little tweaks that we've added to make it, you know, creative and fun. In another animation down here we call crazy boxes. I'll put it in another animation or image just to show that we can. And let's do fun. Let's do, how about this one? Just for the fun of it. It's kind of crazy. And I can, for this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put the box in an area here, and I'm just going to do, I don't know, hey guys, having a great day? How about that? So it's going to default to that. Oh, by the way, you can roll over these to see previews of the animations as well. But some of them, I actually, this one works with 2 fonts if I want to. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it like it is. And so it's showing up right there. Of course, I want it to kind of show up where it's not covering him, or I think that would be better anyways. So let's try maybe down here like this. And I can just quickly just redo it. And notice that it kind of, in order to fit it in, just made the box taller. And I can toggle that grid off. And so this one has another modifier. It's kind of fun thing. I'll do tilde A, and that's going to do an alternate color. So it's going to make that. So just little things like that to kind of allow you to just really kind of make it your own and have some fun with it.
That's good. Yeah, the crazy boxes and the bullet boxes have only just been recently added to it. So I'm just starting to learn how to use them. We've been all the way along. We've been given more and more as it's been getting more and more better. Is that way to say it? But no, and have you got more animations planned, haven't you, or coming
right?
Up
We're
soon?
doing more. The next update has kind of funny. Most of these are kind of more elaborate, like, well, not elaborate, more creative, and we've had some requests for some simple things because. Especially with what we're about to add. We're about to add the ability to do, like I said, import an SVG image or a PNG and then animate it onto the screen. Then you can put your text over the top of it. In fact, let me see if I can find let's see what we got here. My programmer, oops, I didn't mean to unzip it again. Here we go. My programmer sent me these screenshots yesterday. And this is a preview of it, so it's an image overlay feature. I'm probably going to rename this. But this is a new feature where you can import, you select your image, and you have the ability to, actually, once you select your image, let's just go to the next part of the sequence. He was kind enough to take a break from programming this to send this to me. You can size and position it, and that's what this is showing. And there's still not an animation down here, because it's still waiting for you to position where you want it on the screen. And then after that, once it's on the screen, he's sized it and positioned it roughly in the center, and he's applied an animation. So it's fading in with no animation effect. The speed is 1/2 a second. The duration is 5 seconds. It's actually, there's a small bug here. You can see it's actually 5.5 seconds, so that's why it's not released yet. And then a fade out animation. So then in the next sequence he shows here is he shows that we can still use the grid, and he's using an animation. He's showing crazy boxes, but he ultimately uses bullet boxes, which I'll show you here. And so notice that he's got he's got a background here. He's got the SVG image. It's actually showing on this layer above the text animation, but we give you the ability to change the Z order if you want to, and push this text animation above the other one so that it'll show on top of it. And so this is very similar to a lower third. So he's got this animation appearing on top of that SVG image. And if he wanted if he wanted the SVG to sort of mask it or be on top of the text, he could do that as well. But in this case, he just demonstrated that we have the ability to push this up to the top if you want to. So that's just opens the door for a more creative stuff. Again, lower thirds and stuff like this. In this case, he's got the tablet animating in over kind of a blueprint kind of texture, then showing this text appear on the tablet, and then it reverses out. In fact, let's see, he did send a sample about a little bit after that, showing that he played with it a little bit more. And he ended up with this animation. And there you go.
So you've got your background image, then you've got your other image on top of it, and then you've got your right inside that other image.
That's right.
So it's amazing now. This is getting really good.
So yeah, and so we're adding the next two text animations. People have actually asked for easy stuff, like simple things like the text just fading in and fading out, because we didn't have anything that simple. We had more kind of elaborate stuff. So the next couple of animations are those, but we're going to get some more fun stuff in there as well. We have a lot of these text animations are based off of After Effects plugins that I had that were too difficult for me to use in After Effects. These crazy boxes constitute a $60 After Effects plugin. Again, the incidental pivot is a $90 one, and Pepper Blast is also a $90 one. But we just include all of these in here, and we're adding some more. And it's all, in truth, if I'm honest, some of this is just based on what I was using and what I found to be effective. And so we just worked it into here. So some of the animations that are not included are simply because I didn't find that they really resonated with viewers. So I've chosen the animations that have been effective for me in other programs, like Final Cut Pro and After Effects.
Okay, good. All right, so can you explain we've done that, and I should now know what all the left-hand side does. Can you explain over here what you mean by library quotes, import, what they could sort of do over this side over here, so they can...
Sure, and I'm just moving this over because the webinar kind of thing is kind of in the way, so I'm trying to get out of the way. So over here, we have a library. We want you to be able to, now this is kind of a personal library, since we have the ability to keyword search. And this is a real big secret of making videos fast. If you have your own library of assets, and notice that we've keyworded these. So we provide a lot of these in the bonus section. Some of these are my personal. These are videos that I personally bought. And I just went in and keyworded the names, and we show you how to do that in there. So we have the ability for you to kind of add them either by importing here, or we have an advanced feature that lets you kind of do them with just like you would with the Explorer or Windows Explorer or Finder on the Macintosh. But anyways, so that you can keyword search your assets, because when you're making a video, you get to the point in your video where you're like, okay, I need an image of frustration. I'm frustrated. I'm asking the viewer, are they frustrated when they deal with this problem? And so I need frustration images. So, I've got some frustration images here, and so it allows me to find them, put them into my video, and move on quickly. Because as a lot of us know, the biggest frustration is finding images in videos. And so once you found it for, we all have our little libraries. And so this allows you to kind of create a keyword searchable library. And that includes audio. We have the ability to have built-in audio. And I've got these keyworded, these files. These are just MP4s. So I can preview it in the program. These, again, are just things that I've personally licensed, but whatever you have, you can do the same thing. You can put them in your library, and we offer some freebies in there also. And then, video as well. So this is your kind of personal library. Now, if you have, when you're creating your videos, a lot of time you'll just find something on Pixabay or something like that, and you want to just input, or you'll take a picture on your phone and you'll send it to yourself, and you want to import that into your video. Well, you can import that here. Well, we have the ability to import libraries, and that's pretty much what I just showed you up here. Or, again, you can use the advanced feature, which is in the tutorials. I show the advanced feature because I prefer that way myself. And over here we have exports. So we have MP4, WebM, QuickTime Movie with transparency, and PNG sequence with transparency. And now the PNG sequence is offered because, as of April 2016, Apple has demonstrated that they suck once again. And I say that as a Mac user, by not supporting MOV on the PC or Windows platform, which so an increasing number of Windows users have struggled with QuickTime transparency, MOV files, and so the PNG sequence is an alternate to that. It's not very widely used either, but it's starting to be. And what that does is it just imports the basically static images that you can then import into whatever some programs support PNG sequence, and that allows you to have that transparency. So in the settings, I can go here and I can set the stage to transparent, which is on by default. So if I didn't have a background, I had my text animations over the background, the background would be transparent. And so we have the export options for that. We are looking into doing GIF animation export. And I'm trying to think of, there was another one. I cannot
GIF
think.
Would be interesting because that seems to really be taking off at the moment on all the social media.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting if you could make a GIF in here. That'd be good. You know what I mean? It's that'd be a real good bonus.
Yeah, that's we've got it about working halfway, and so there's a couple of things that it's a little tricky. The Anyway, but we had it in here and we had to remove it because there was a few situations, video in particular, where it wouldn't render to the PNG file. So we have to, I'm sorry, the GIF file. So we've got to work on that. Just, settings, we've got the ability to have different stage sizes. Actually, right now I have this zoomed in, but I can set the stage size to any size I want. But the technology that we use forces us to use the, to kind of, we can't size it if it's zoomed in. So we have to zoom back out to 100%, and then I can size it to whatever I want. So if I want to make a video the size of a Pinterest pin, then I can do that, or whatever it is. So that's kind of useful for GIF animations in particular. That's actually why we put that in there. And then, so we're trying to get that to work. There's a couple of other things. These are just, the settings are no big deal, but this one I like. It has the ability, if you put in an audio file, you can have it auto fade out at the end, because that, in some of my courses I like to teach that when, having music in your sales and promotion videos is very effective, but people want to hear the end of the song, and so people like the resolve of a song. It feels more, if it ends abruptly, they feel uncomfortable, and so we added in this feature so that you can end the song even if you've got a song that's longer than your video. So it'll just do it for you automatically. So just just trying to be thoughtful and effective in with our video creation, because even though I showed that first example where sometimes we're just having a little fun with our video programs. And that, that's one reason why we did kinetic text animator. We wanted it to be powerful enough to make sales videos, but also easy enough for you to just pop in and make a quick happy birthday video for your friend, and, all in the same day. Quick and easy.
Good. All right then. So I think we've pretty much explained the whole software. So what is the price at the moment? You've got this at the moment. It's it went up. It's $37 something, isn't it?
It's $39 now.
$39.
Basically, what we're doing is we started it at $37 while we were in beta, and we ended up being in beta a little longer than we anticipated. As you mentioned, it was good. Little raw. Yeah, we're doing this is a completely new tech. No one's done what we're doing here. It's kind of hard to describe, but there's kind of standard technologies, and there was limitations to all of them. And so we went with something that didn't have those limitations, but we don't have anything to we had to figure it out for ourselves. We can't go and find, people to get help. So so it took a little longer, but now that we had 10 animations to begin with, we added 2 more, and so we raised the price a couple days later, and that's going to pretty much be what we're doing. The next 2 animations, which will be with the image animation feature that I just mentioned, a couple days after we post that, we'll raise the price again to $2 more until we land. We'll do that a couple times more until we have 20 animations, and we'll land at $47. And so that'll be over the next couple of weeks here.
Yep. Good. And then I still think it's a great price. I mean, it's a very good price for what you get. It's so easy to use. I love it. I absolutely love it. And then have you got any OTOs with this at the moment?
There's only one. Yeah. Currently, there's just one. There's it's a course called Video Like a Pro. It comes with resources that are keyworded for specific purpose. I wanted to have. I hate upsells that are like, developer rights or something silly like that. Right?
Or actually make it to work.
Right. Yeah. So instead, we just wanted something that was just complimentary. And so as a video professional I went to school many years ago and were taught some principles, and I was sharing that with somebody, and they were like, wow, I've never heard of those things. And I thought, well, I realized that they're just not teaching these foundational techniques anymore. So I took these techniques that I've learned in college, and not only did I teach them, but I give you assets to use with them. So for instance, in one technique that we're taught in film school is to use eye contact, even though we're not actually looking at a human. But naturally, people look at someone when they're looking at, if we think someone's looking at, we look back. And but so anyways, things like that. There's eye contact. There's another principle taught called leading, where and many people use this in ads. You don't even realize it, but we looked at that earlier with that pretty lady. But we can do, here's another one. So if someone is looking at something, we tend to look at it also. What are they looking at? And so we follow their eyes, and so that engages people in videos in a different way. And kind of subconsciously, and just things like that. So I have the course talks about using those kinds of effective video techniques. Another one is expressive imagery. So if you're saying, are you frustrated, you need to show an image that expresses that level of frustration that you're trying to communicate. And so I provide keyworded images, and I basically talk about how if you use these techniques, you can bang through sales videos in about an hour or so. And so that's the upsell. The upsell is just complementary to Kinetic Text Animator. After we add this new feature, image animation, I'll plug in the second upsell, which is going to be Easy Animator Pro, which is a previous program that really kind of focuses on creative image animations. It's not really designed. And to be honest, we used the word easy in that program, but after a while I had to face the fact that it's not as easy as the name says it is. So it's a valuable program that does something that is not very common. It allows you to do sort of very elaborate image animations. And we added text also. But it's really a complement to Kinetic Text Animator because it's focused on images instead of text, and it's not it is, and it's also just for video clips. It's short videos. It's it's not for a full video. So and that is what's I didn't want to put that in the funnel until it was clear that we had an image animation option in Kinetic Text Animator already, because Easy Animator Pro is more for advanced image animations, which not everyone needs.
No, so, but Joe, this ATO, actually explained to me a couple of weeks ago, we were on the phone, what it was about. And I think I'll make sure I get it myself, because it will teach us all a bit more about video marketing, like looking and frustration, and actually to get our videos perfect. You know what I mean? So no, people have a look at that once you get this software, but. No, I think we've pretty much explained the whole software here. There's nothing else you really want to go further, is there, Scott?
No, that's pretty much the main thing. And like you said, we're adding more features.
Yep.
And a good part of why we are is because I use it.
Yeah.
So we're adding stuff because I want it.
And also, I'd like to add, there's a Facebook group which I'm quite active in there, and Scott is as well. He always answers my questions. Like I asked a question about bullet boxes yesterday, and it's a very good group. You go in there, ask your questions, and you'll actually get the answers. There's people in there. One of the videos in this group, I love it. It's for local marketing. I've actually, below this video, I'm going to be putting it on the blog post because it shows a guy on it. So if you keep coming down, it's somewhere down there. But it's very simple guys using it to sell a service. It's really good. But yeah, the Facebook group is really good. It's very active. And you've actually got a comment in here too. Someone loves you. They love the way you're always in here talking to people as well. So.
Well, we want to create a community. This is if you want to have there's a lot of the forums. It's all about the professional users, but for us, we want we want, like Carvel did this animation. He's a programmer, and this is something he did for his wife, and and my wife did something for my daughter's birthday, and with kinetic text animator, just a little birthday thing, and that is, I mean, to me, that's just as valuable as doing a sales video. We want to, and we don't do that kind of thing with these other programs because they're so tedious to use that we're not going to use it for stuff that's fun like that. But if it's easy, then we can go ahead and pop in and make our sales video, and then later on make a Mother's Day card and whatever, that kind of stuff. That's what we really want. We want to encourage people to do that, and that's why we want to remain active here and encourage people. And what happens is if we do that a little bit, then people just, I mean, here's someone saying, look, I'll give you a hand. He's saying, hey, this guy's having a problem, and he's offering to help, with a, by, so, we get a lot of that now just because people are, kind enough to pitch in and give us a hand in helping people, and so, we kind of, if we do that, then other people kind of throw in also, and so it makes it a lot easier when there's a community that answer your questions at 2 o'clock in the morning or something. So
yeah, like guy made a comment today about he wished they would fade out some of the ones at the end. They'd just suddenly stop, and I found yesterday, because I was doing a pattern interrupt video where I used text your software at the start. Oh, there's my comment there, and then I get my wife to say stop with a big stop sign, and then I go on to the video, and that gets their attention. That's 5 seconds into the video, I say stop, and I'm able to put text into that first 5 or 8 seconds and have it the right length I want by just modifying how long I do the text goes for. And I put in here to actually take in the Camtasia and cut it out, but that's going to be fixed soon. I hear you're going to be able to not have the fade out. Is that right somewhere?
Yeah, that's yeah. So we Carvel, Carvel is the programmer. This is his picture right here, and we are I think it's close to 20-year friends. So we kind of partnered up on this, and he I'm just trying to limit what I say just because we have a long history, but he's you can see here he plays a guitar. He's an outstanding guitarist, but he likes that we both we're trying to pay attention to again we have to be careful because we're programming a program that I want to use, and so a lot of the features are because I want them, but I didn't think of that, and that's a good idea. So I just didn't run into a situation where I needed it yet in my videos, but so we're trying to pay attention to stuff like that. That's one reason why we did the beta when we did, is we kind of made it as good as we could think to make it, but we were confident that people would come up with things that we did not think of, and so that's a great example of something that's simple, but it will. We both kind of, oh yeah, that's a great idea. I can't, and we, a lot of these things are kind of like, why didn't we think of that ourselves? But we didn't, and so, yeah, that is going to.
You don't care if it fades out, but with certain videos, like I know you're looking at YouTube ads as well, because you're doing some training on that. With the ads, you need to be able to stop that straight away and then move on. You know what I mean? You don't want to fade because that's a couple of seconds longer before you get your next slide. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But that's yeah. But I know you'll fix that. That's good. But no, the Facebook group is great. You go in there, no questions silly, and you'll get an answer. Like some of these Facebook groups, you join and the marketer or the guy who develops is never in there. But no, this is a good Facebook group. Well, I think we've pretty much been here long enough. We've kept them all long enough. It's 2 a.m. in the morning, so I'm going to bed. But okay, guys. Now below this video, you'll see a link, which will take you to the sales page, and you also see some videos we're going to put up for some samples. So go in and have a look, and I reckon buy it because it's great. It's great for video. It's probably I reckon it's the best software been out for a long time. This has been out for a couple of months, and people have heard me on webinars and that sort of stuff. I talk about this every week, and I've been trying to get even Scott to do this. But as Scott said a few weeks ago, he wasn't ready to do it. So now it's ready to go to launch, and all the bugs have been sort of, I mean, there's still some bugs with it, but as you can
Yeah, I
see
mean,
that they've been fixed. You know what I mean? We've been honest here. You know what I mean?
yeah, you can't add new features without adding new bugs is the kind of the program mantra. And so, I mean, we're trying not to be afraid of that. We figure we're going to update it. So if we find a bug, we're going to fix it. But all the non-starter issues, all the kinds of things that were really frustrating people, those have all been cleaned up. And so now it's more things like, oh, when we did this last update, a couple of the fonts stopped working in incidental pivot. Well, we've already fixed that, but it'll be in the next update.
Yeah, and like it saves now, where before it wouldn't save, and it was a real frustration. That was about 2 months ago. But now it saves, and it does all these things, save as. I see that as well. So you can save it, like I'll go quite often save it, all right? I'll just go and save. Because if something does happen, you're not spending 4 hours making a video, or 3 hours sometimes, and then something happens at home and you lose it all. So it's good now, it's got the save feature. I reckon it's great. So, but all right, guys, well, I say thanks, Scott, for coming and showing us your software. And I reckon you guys should click the link below and go and have a look at this for yourself.
All right, well, my pleasure. Thanks a lot for having me.
That's all right, that's all right. And I'll talk to you some other time, Scott, no worries. Thanks for that.
All right, have a great evening.
Okay, thanks for that. See you all, guys. Catch you later. Okay, Scott, I'll just close this off. Perfect.